As Jim and Susan were relaxing on the couch, they became aware of scratching sounds, followed by soft meowing. Curiosity piqued, and they decided to investigate. To their surprise, they discovered two cats sitting by their backyard door. Susan found them adorable, but was hesitant to let in stray cats. Despite shooing them away, the persistent felines returned, meowing more emphatically. It was almost as if they were begging for help. With a cold night ahead, Susan and Jim decided to allow the two stray cats to sleep in their garage. The next morning, as they descended the stairs to check on the cats, their expressions turned pale when they saw what had happened. Susan had been lying awake at least half of the previous night, trying to figure out what she was supposed to do with the two stray cats currently taking shelter in their garage. Jim had been explicitly clear that taking them in permanently was not an option under any circumstances. And even though Susan could understand his reasons, she did not fully agree with them. When she and Jim got out of bed the next morning, she was still unsure about what her best course of action would be. The first thing she wanted to do was to go and check on their new feline friends. And Susan quickly made her way to the garage, leaving her husband Jim behind in the bedroom. But she could have never predicted what she would encounter in the garage. The cats were both gone. Not only that, but the whole of their garage was emptied out. They had been robbed by the looks of things, and whoever had done this must have also led the cats out. At least, that is what Susan thought happened. But the reality of the situation would prove to be much stranger, and the cats played a very interesting role in this all. Susan knew that Jim would be furious about this. He had a lot of expensive equipment that he stored in the garage, and that was all gone right now. They were probably very lucky that the garage was not directly connected to the house, otherwise the thieves would have stolen much more than just Jim's equipment. But this was still a very big hit to them. And while Susan was still mostly stuck in thought, Jim had finally made his way to the garage, and his reaction was exactly as Susan predicted. Not a second of thought was going to the cats, and he was just extremely furious that all of his equipment was gone. He was shouting at Susan that it was all her fault because she let in the cats. She must have forgotten to lock the door or something. In the early morning's dim light, Jim and Susan found themselves rooted in shock. Their garage, usually cluttered with belongings, lay bare, stripped of its contents overnight. A heavy silence enveloped them, mixed with confusion and a creeping sense of panic. As they stood, the loss tangible in the cool air, Susan's thoughts momentarily wandered to the stray cats they had sheltered, now missing along with their possessions. Recovering from the initial shock, Jim's determination solidified into action. He reached for his phone with a steady hand, reporting the theft to the police. His voice, firm and clear, relayed the events, including the decision to shelter the stray cats the night before. Beside him, Susan wrestled with her concern for the missing cats, their fate now intertwined with the disheartening theft, further complicating their predicament. With meticulous attention, Jim scoured the garage for any overlooked detail that might explain the theft. The absence of forced entry added to their confusion, the secure lock on the door now seeming to mock their situation. As he examined each corner, the lack of clues only deepened the mystery, leaving them with more questions than answers and a nagging suspicion of their own oversight. The arrival of the police officers cast a somber tone over the scene. They meticulously assessed the garage, noting the lack of forced entry, which suggested an unusual case. Their professionalism provided a slight reassurance in the midst of uncertainty. Yet the reality of the situation weighed heavily on Jim and Susan, emphasizing the severity of their loss and the puzzling nature of the crime. The investigation expanded beyond the confines of their home as officers canvassed the neighborhood, seeking any information on the stray cats and possible sightings of suspicious activities. The quiet of the morning was punctuated by the officers' inquiries, drawing the community into a collective effort to piece together the events. This network of conversations created a tapestry of concern, curiosity, and a shared desire to uncover the truth behind the theft and the mysterious role of the stray cats. Despite thorough questioning, the police discovered that no residents had seen anything out of the ordinary. However, several neighbors voiced their concerns about the recent increase in stray cat sightings around the neighborhood. This detail, seemingly minor, sparked a flicker of interest among the officers. It painted a picture of a quiet community, suddenly marked by an unusual presence of strays, adding a layer of mystery to the investigation. Detectives gathered Jim and Susan to share a startling observation: a pattern of thefts in the area, all coinciding with reports of stray cat sightings. This correlation suggested a novel burglary method might be at play, using the innocent appearance of cats to lower residents' guards. The idea seemed almost far-fetched, yet the emerging pattern was too consistent to ignore, indicating a possible new tactic in criminal operations. The conversation with detectives took a deeper dive into the potential use of animals in burglaries. They speculated on how the trust elicited by the presence of stray cats could be exploited to gain access to homes. This theory suggested a level of premeditation and cunning that was unsettling. Jim and Susan listened, trying to reconcile the notion of such manipulation with their own experience, the pieces of the puzzle slowly beginning to fit together. Resolved to uncover the truth, the police decided to extend their investigation to explore the potential link between the recent burglaries and the stray cat sightings. This approach marked a shift in their strategy, acknowledging the possibility of animals being used as tools in criminal activities. The decision to widen the scope of the inquiry signaled the beginning of a unique and complex investigation, one that would require unconventional thinking and tactics. In response to the unfolding situation, a community-wide alert was issued. Residents were urged to report any sightings of stray cats, along with any suspicious activities. The alert aimed to heighten awareness and gather more information that could lead to a breakthrough in the case. This proactive measure sought to engage the community as active participants in safeguarding their neighborhood, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and cooperation in the face of emerging threats. In an effort to strengthen their case, the police called upon the community to report any sightings of stray cats, as well as any unusual activities. This initiative aimed to compile a broader base of evidence and witness accounts that could shed light on the recent string of burglaries. The community's response was swift, with residents keen to assist, providing valuable information that began to fill the gaps in the investigation. Taking a significant step forward, the authorities issued warrants for the recovery of the missing items and for the apprehension of the stray cats linked to the burglaries. Alerts were sent to animal shelters and veterinary clinics, casting a wide net to track down the animals potentially involved. This move underscored the seriousness with which the police were pursuing all leads, determined to unravel the mystery. As word spread, the community's vigilance intensified. People became more observant, reporting any sightings of stray cats and any activities that seemed out of the ordinary. This heightened state of alertness created a network of watchful eyes across the neighborhood, each resident playing a crucial role in safeguarding their collective security. The atmosphere was one of cautious solidarity, with everyone eager to contribute to restoring peace and order. The investigation extended its reach to local pawn shops and online marketplaces, which were put on alert for any items that matched the description of the stolen goods. This proactive measure aimed to close off avenues for the burglars to profit from their crimes, tightening the net around the perpetrators. Shop owners and online sellers were enlisted as critical allies in the effort to recover the stolen property and catch those responsible. A significant lead emerged when an animal shelter reported finding several cats that matched the descriptions provided by the police, located near another site of recent burglary. This development offered a promising breakthrough, linking the stray cats directly to the pattern of thefts. The shelter's report invigorated the investigation, providing a tangible connection between the animals and the criminal activities, and offering a new avenue for the police to explore. In a calculated move, the police initiated surveillance around a residence recently identified as the temporary home for the found stray cats. This strategic positioning was based on the hypothesis that the thieves might return to use the cats for another break-in. Officers equipped with night vision and discreet communication gear stationed themselves at vantage points, ready to observe without being detected, their eyes fixed on the house and its surroundings. As the hours ticked by, officers melded into the shadows, their presence unnoticed by passers-by. The operation was a masterclass in patience and discipline, with each member of the team fully aware that the success of their mission depended on their ability to wait silently for the suspects to reveal themselves. The quiet of the neighborhood was punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves, adding to the suspense of the unfolding stakeout. With nightfall, the tension among the team palpably thickened. Each officer felt the weight of anticipation, their focus sharpened as the possibility of action loomed closer. The darkness seemed to deepen, mirroring the growing anxiety of the moment. Despite their training and experience, the uncertainty of the operation's outcome gnawed at their resolve, a silent battle of nerves playing out under the cover of darkness. Suddenly, a black van maneuvered into view, its approach as silent as a whisper. It parked near the house under surveillance, its windows opaque and revealing nothing of its occupants. The vehicle's arrival marked a significant moment in the operation, a tangible sign that their patience might soon pay off. Inside the van, figures moved stealthily, their intentions hidden but clearly connected to the house watched by the police. Time seemed to stand still as the standoff ensued. The van and its mysterious occupants remained stationary, as if the drivers were biding their time or waiting for a specific moment to act. Inside the surveillance perimeter, the police maintained their positions with unwavering focus, each officer ready to respond at a moment's notice. The silent standoff stretched on, a test of endurance and strategy between law enforcement and the unseen suspects within the van. The stillness of the night was broken by subtle movements at the targeted house. Shadows flitted across the yard, indicating the thieves had initiated their burglary. This activity triggered a swift response from the surveillance team, their preparations shifting into action. The signal was clear. The operation they had anticipated was underway, marking the moment for the police to execute their carefully laid plan. As the burglars began their intrusion, police cars, previously hidden, silently converged on the scene. With precision and timing, they blocked the van's intended escape route, effectively trapping the suspects. The element of surprise was on the side of law enforcement. Their presence a calculated reveal that left no room for the thieves to maneuver or escape the encircling net of justice. Confronted suddenly by the police, the thieves were taken aback, their plans unraveled by the unexpected blockade. The surprise and realization of their predicament left them with no viable option but to surrender. Without a shot fired or a struggle, they were apprehended, their hands raised in defeat. The operation's success was marked not by force, but by the strategic outmaneuvering of the suspects. In the aftermath of the arrest, the police conducted a thorough search of the van, uncovering an array of stolen goods. Each item recovered was evidence of the thieves' extensive operations, connecting them to multiple burglaries across the neighborhood. The find was significant, not only for the value of the items returned, but for the closure it brought to many victims who had felt the violation of their homes. Separated and placed in the interrogation rooms, the suspects faced detectives ready to peel back the layers of their criminal activities. With evidence mounting against them, the initial resistance gave way to the revealing of details about their operations. The questioning was methodical, aiming to understand the full scope of their crimes and, importantly, the methods they employed. This was the beginning of untangling a web of burglaries that had plagued the community. In the quiet of the interrogation room, detectives meticulously connected the dots, using the suspects' confessions to uncover the unexpected role of the cats in their scheme. The picture that emerged was one of cunning manipulation, where the natural instincts of these animals were exploited for criminal gains. This revelation provided a crucial piece of the puzzle, explaining the strange occurrences that had puzzled the community and the police. Jim and Susan found themselves at the police station, a place they hoped to reclaim pieces of their past. As they walked through rows of recovered items, their emotions were a tangle of hope and apprehension. Each piece identified brought a mix of relief and a reminder of the violation they had experienced. This visit was a step toward closure, yet it opened old wounds as they faced the reality of their loss. The burglar's method, now laid bare, was ingeniously sinister. Using stray cats as a tool to lower the guard of unsuspecting homeowners revealed a level of premeditation that was both shocking and disheartening. This tactic, once unthinkable, had been executed with a precision that left the community reeling. Understanding the method brought clarity to the investigation, but also a profound sense of vulnerability among the residents. Jim and Susan wrestled with a complex array of emotions as they processed the extent of the burglar's manipulation, especially the exploitation of the animals. Relief at the return of their belongings was tempered by sorrow for the cats used as unwitting pawns in the scheme. This emotional turmoil was a testament to their compassion, highlighting the depth of their empathy for creatures caught in the crossfire of human malice. The revelation of the burglary method sent ripples through the neighborhood, prompting an urgent reevaluation of security measures and animal welfare considerations. Residents were alerted to this new kind of theft, a scheme that exploited the kindness towards animals. The community was called to strengthen vigilance, not just against potential thieves, but to protect the innocent animals that could be used in such plots. This alert sparked discussions on security, trust, and the need for a collective response to safeguard all members of the community, both human and animal. With meticulous care, the police cataloged and secured the evidence that connected the suspects to the string of burglaries. Each item, from the stolen goods to the tools used in the crimes, was carefully documented, ensuring a solid foundation for the prosecution. This process was crucial, not just for the legal proceedings, but as a tangible sign of the justice system at work, restoring a measure of faith in the community's protection. Following the collection of evidence, charges were formally laid against the suspects, marking the commencement of the legal process. The charges detailed the extent of their criminal activities, underpinned by the innovative yet malicious use of animals in their burglaries. This step was a critical move towards accountability, offering the community and victims like Jim and Susan a path to seeing justice served. In the quiet aftermath, Jim and Susan found themselves reflecting on the profound impact the event had on their sense of security and trust. The intrusion into their home, coupled with the manipulation of their compassion for animals, left them questioning the safety of their neighborhood. This period of introspection was a necessary journey towards rebuilding not just their sense of security, but also their faith in the inherent goodness of their community. The revelation of the burglary scheme sent shockwaves through the neighborhood, prompting widespread surprise and concern. Community meetings became forums for expressing fears and discussing proactive measures to enhance vigilance. The incident served as a wake-up call, highlighting vulnerabilities and the need for a collective response to prevent future crimes. It was a moment of reckoning, spurring actions aimed at strengthening the fabric of the community. Amid the turmoil, a positive outcome emerged as the story ignited a surge of support for local animal shelters. Moved by the plight of the cats used in the burglaries, residents rallied to offer donations and volunteer time, reflecting a communal spirit of solidarity and compassion. This wave of support was a testament to the community's resilience and its commitment to ensuring the welfare of all its members, human and animal alike. Prompted by recent events, the community actively engaged in discussions about enhancing home security systems and practices. Many households considered the adoption of advanced security technologies, including surveillance cameras and alarm systems, as essential steps toward fortifying their homes against future threats. This collective move towards improved security measures reflected a shared commitment to personal and communal safety, underscoring the incident's role as a catalyst for change. The unique circumstances of the burglaries brought to light the complex role of stray animals in urban security issues. Community forums and local meetings became platforms for dialogue on how to humanely manage the stray animal population while mitigating potential risks. These discussions highlighted the need for a balanced approach that ensured the safety of residents without compromising the welfare of animals, sparking initiatives aimed at responsible animal care and control. In response to the burglaries, law enforcement officials and community leaders convened to formulate strategies aimed at preventing similar incidents. These strategy sessions focused on enhancing neighborhood watch programs, improving police-community communication, and educating residents on crime prevention techniques. The collaborative effort signified a proactive stance against crime, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and community engagement in maintaining public safety. The burglaries left a lasting psychological impact on residents, stirring feelings of vulnerability and betrayal. Many grappled with the unsettling reality of their homes being violated and the manipulation of their goodwill towards animals. Support groups and community counseling sessions were established to address these emotional and psychological wounds, providing a space for healing and reaffirmation of community bonds in the aftermath of the crimes. Motivated by the desire to prevent future crimes and address the underlying issues exposed by the burglaries, the community took significant steps to strengthen ties and enhance safety measures. Initiatives such as neighborhood patrols, community workshops on security awareness, and partnerships with local law enforcement were launched. These efforts aimed not only to safeguard against crime but also to foster a sense of unity and resilience, proving that from adversity could come a stronger, more connected community. In a bid to close the chapter on the recent burglaries, the police organized a community meeting to debrief the case. They shared key insights and detailed the investigation's course, highlighting the collaborative efforts between law enforcement and residents that led to the resolution. This meeting served not only as an informational session, but also as a platform to commend the community for its crucial role in the case's success. Following the debriefing, the community engaged in reflective discussions about the lessons learned from the incident. Topics ranged from the importance of vigilance and the value of community solidarity to the innovative yet malicious methods criminals may employ. This dialogue fostered a shared understanding of the complexities of crime prevention and the collective responsibility to protect the vulnerable among them, both human and animal. Attention then turned to the welfare of the stray cats manipulated by the criminals. Efforts were initiated to ensure their rehabilitation and rehoming, with local animal shelters taking the lead. The community rallied support for these efforts, recognizing the cats as innocent victims of the crimes. This shift in focus underscored a compassionate response to the incident, extending empathy and care to the animals involved. The incident shed light on the animals as unseen victims of crime, prompting a broader conversation about the intersection of criminal activity and animal welfare. By acknowledging the cat's role not as tools but as victims, the community gained a deeper understanding of the ethical considerations in crime prevention and animal protection. This awareness led to calls for more robust measures to safeguard animals from exploitation. The incident acted as a catalyst for heightened community awareness around security measures and animal welfare. Educational initiatives were launched to inform residents about how to effectively secure their homes while being mindful of the welfare of stray animals in their neighborhood. This dual focus aimed to empower the community, equipping them with the knowledge and tools to prevent future crimes and ensure the safety and well-being of all its members. The community, touched by the plight of the stray cats used in the burglaries, adopted a more compassionate stance towards dealing with stray animals. This shift in perspective led to increased support for local animal welfare initiatives and a commitment to humane treatment. It fostered a deeper understanding and empathy towards animals in need, highlighting the importance of kindness and care in building a more compassionate society. Motivated by recent events, the community launched new initiatives aimed at enhancing local security and bolstering support for animal shelters. These initiatives included neighborhood watch programs, security workshops, and fundraising events for animal care. By implementing these changes, the community sought to strengthen its resilience against crime while ensuring the welfare of its animal population, demonstrating a proactive approach to addressing both security and humanitarian concerns. The successful resolution of the burglaries underscored the significant impact of collective community action in tackling social issues. This experience served as a powerful reminder of what can be achieved when individuals come together for a common cause. It inspired a renewed sense of community spirit and engagement, with residents more willing to participate in local governance and volunteer efforts, embodying the true strength of unity in action. In the aftermath of the crimes, the community embarked on a journey of healing. Support groups, community gatherings, and collaborative projects became avenues for individuals and organizations to offer mutual support. These efforts helped mend the emotional and psychological wounds inflicted by the burglaries, fostering a sense of recovery and solidarity. As trust was slowly rebuilt, the community emerged stronger, bonded by their shared experiences and commitment to supporting one another. Remarkably, the bizarre series of crimes acted as a catalyst for positive change within the community. The challenges faced brought to light the capacity for growth and transformation in the face of adversity. This period of reflection and action spurred improvements in security, animal welfare, and community cohesion. The incident, while distressing, ultimately served as a turning point, galvanizing the community towards a future marked by greater awareness, empathy, and resilience. A shocking revelation came to light. The stray cats were intricately trained by the criminals to assist in their burglaries, capable of begging for help and manipulating door handles. This discovery illuminated the depth of the criminals' cunning, exploiting the innocence of animals to further their illicit aims. The community reeled at the sophistication of the scheme, which used the cat's natural behaviors in a manipulative manner to gain access to homes. The full extent of the criminals' exploitation of stray cats was unveiled, showcasing a method both ingenious and reprehensible. Their strategy involved training vulnerable animals to be unwitting accomplices in theft, a tactic that was as innovative as it was cruel. This exposure shed light on the lengths to which individuals would go to exploit both human and animal trust for personal gain. sparking a mix of admiration for the ingenuity and horror at the moral bankruptcy. A headline in the local newspaper, "Trained for Theft: The Unseen Role of Stray Cats in Local Burglaries," ignited a firestorm of conversation throughout the community. The article detailed how the cats were conditioned by the criminals, leading to widespread outrage and empathy for the animals used in such a deceitful manner. This public revelation acted as a catalyst for a broader discussion on crime, animal welfare, and community safety. The case cast a spotlight on the darker aspects of animal exploitation, compelling the community and local authorities to advocate for stronger protections for animals. Calls for legislation to prevent such abuses emerged, alongside discussions on ethical treatment and the responsibility of humans to protect those who cannot speak for themselves. The incident became a rallying point for animal rights activists and concerned citizens alike, demanding change to ensure animal safety and dignity. As the community grappled with the revelations, the cats at the heart of the scandal began their journey towards rehabilitation. Animal welfare organizations stepped forward to provide the necessary care and therapy, symbolizing a beacon of hope and resilience. Their recovery process highlighted the possibility of healing and redemption, serving as a testament to the strength found in compassion and the unwavering spirit of those who dedicate themselves to the welfare of animals in need. The startling revelation about the cat's training catalyzed a period of introspection within the community, leading to a deep reevaluation of trust, security practices, and animal welfare principles. This collective awakening prompted discussions on how to foster a safer, more compassionate environment for both residents and animals. The incident served as a wake-up call, encouraging a holistic approach to addressing the underlying issues exposed by the burglaries. In the aftermath of the burglaries, the community found strength in unity. Neighbors, once strangers or mere acquaintances, forged closer ties, united by a shared experience and a common cause. This newfound solidarity extended to local animal shelters, which saw an influx of support from the community. The incident acted as a reminder of the importance of community bonds, demonstrating how adversity can bring people together in support of each other and vulnerable animals. Prompted by recent events, the neighborhood embarked on implementing enhanced security measures. This initiative, however, was distinguished by its emphasis on maintaining compassion towards stray animals. The community sought a balanced approach that protected residents without harming local wildlife or strays, illustrating a commitment to security that does not compromise on kindness and empathy towards animals. The incident, while initially a source of distress, ultimately led to a significant increase in support for local animal shelters. Donations poured in, and volunteer numbers grew, as the community rallied to turn a negative situation into a positive force for animal welfare. This surge in support highlighted the community's capacity for compassion and action, transforming the challenge into an opportunity to better the lives of animals in need. Emerging from the shadow of the burglaries, the community stood stronger, more vigilant, and deeply united. This journey from adversity to action underscored a collective resilience and a willingness to grow and adapt in the face of challenges. The bizarre series of events, though troubling, became a catalyst for positive change, inspiring a story of resilience that reaffirmed the community's commitment to safety, compassion, and mutual support.